Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm trading the ES futures on a 2000 tick chart with a 21 EMA. So I've got the overnight high up here and the overnight low down here. These are our key levels for the day. So I started trading just before 8 Central Time this morning. So that's right as we were pushing up there before we formed that swing. And so starting off, we have these two legs up, two measured legs up. And the overnight high was right here at the time, but that's because I was trading right before this swing formed. And after this swing pushed on down, I raised the overnight high to here because it matched better with those two swings there, and then that matched better with everything else for the rest of the day. And so anyway, we have this push off of the overnight high. Measured move is met, but I wanted to use a limit order because I didn't want to push the target too far past midway. This is the stop entry all the way down here, and this just looked like a huge size trade for this range. Now, I don't mind it's 23 ticks. I just mind how big it is in comparison to this range right here. So I just wanted to get in a little bit early, get out about halfway into this range right here, just in case, because we already had a large push down at this point to the entry, so I wasn't really wanting to bet on that continuing all the way down, but it did in this case. But anyway, so we push on lower here. Now this failed second entry, so this short right here, some folks in the website were talking about it. Now, I do think that this looks good to attempt to enter. So first entry long, second entry long, failure. In this case, you do have this trend line here, so you would want to keep your target within it. But, not every time, not every good-looking trade is going to work out. To me, this looks good. It's a failed second entry with a very sharp reaction, push below the EMA. And it looks good to ride down to this trend line here, but in this case, it just pushes on up for some reason. Sometimes that's going to happen on a good-looking trade. After it pushed up here, many of you got out at break even, I noticed, and so that's likely what I would have done. But for the first hour, I was distracted, so I wasn't even able to focus. By the time I did the 9 a.m. post, I barely even noticed this because I was busy, I was distracted doing something, but after 9, I was focused the rest of the day. But anyway, we pushed on up here. Unfortunately, if you didn't get out at break even there, then you were stopped out on that. But we push on up here, we break out of the overnight high. So, we have this, we can see these higher lows forming as well as these higher highs. So there's clearly some kind of bullish imbalance here. It's not super extreme or anything, but there's a slight bullish slant. And we break out of the overnight high. We start fading back in. We can see we get a couple legs down. There's really no way to get in. You don't want to enter right into the overnight high. And then, of course, at this point, you're still entering into it. Even though it's barely below, you still have 2 legs down at that point. So we get this push down. It's really just one leg down on a big picture. We can clearly all draw it into this channel. And so we're fading back down, and then we get these 2 attempts out right here. So we have this uptrend, break, new high, and it's retesting the overnight high right here with a very, very strong reaction. We're expecting a second leg down. We just have room to this trend line right here. So to me, this looks good. Same kind of deal. It is a pretty large looking trade, but it is about halfway, which the main thing is keeping it within this trend line here. But we're clearly expecting a second leg down. We're already getting a very sharp reaction, and we have room. So I like this right here. We push on down. We get that second leg. Now, I just want to mention this. Let me re-extend that. So you see these 2 legs back, retesting the green trend line here. After we get these 2 legs and push down here, I still don't think that this looks like a good second entry because you are right into that previous measured move level. Notice the measured move down. This is the level. You don't want to enter directly into that. It does end up pushing on down, but notice how strong the reaction is just to that level, even though it's already been met and had 2 attempts to reverse. If you reach a measured move level and get 2 attempts to reverse and, it forms a second entry, you still don't want to enter right into that level. You would want it to be, ideally we could have gotten 2 clear legs up to this key entry point, and maybe you get an entry small enough with room before this trend line. Although we did break it, so, at that point it wouldn't be as bad, but the point is you just don't want to enter right into these key levels. But we push on lower here. It's kind of forming this range right here, going sideways. We're forming some support mostly. And we break out, fade back in. No clear entry at this point. You'd have this trend line right there working down. So unfortunately, no way to enter that. And also at this point, after you get that bounce up there, that's when these lows became more apparent because it matched with these highs. You just drag them down to there. And then we kind of just chop between the EMA and these lows for a bit. Definitely nothing to take in there. Certainly no shorts, because in order to take a short after coming off the low of a downtrend, you want to see 2 attempts to the other side, and you're only getting these first entries anyway, And then, of course, you also don't want to enter right into a very down EMA and also into this trend line right here. So really nothing to take there. We push on up. We fade back into the overnight. We get this higher low. It's right into the overnight level still, so you don't want to take that. But we push on up, form this uptrend. Oh, wow, we're already at the end. I forgot how. There were some good moves today, but, there wasn't a whole lot of movement. This is a very, very short video. So we have this uptrend break. What I'm thinking is, or what I would like to see, and if it can happen soon, I'll wait for a little bit for it to happen, because we're making a second leg down here, so I might trade for a little bit after this video. Usually I'd be done after the video, but anyway, so we're getting this 2-legged move. Hopefully we can get 2 legs down, retesting the overnight low. That could offer a great long, because on this side, you have the downtrend, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, failure. So if we can get a bounce off this overnight low, we can get a failure to make a new low for this downtrend, while simultaneously you would have this on the flip side, uptrend, break, first attempt higher, and then down here we could get our second attempt higher. So we would have confluence, with this uptrend and this downtrend at the same time, also off of a key level here. So that could be something very soon that sets up. Of course, I'm also open to, say we push down and get another leg here, which let me draw a channel on this just to kind of separate them easier. Say we get another leg down here, and whether we reach the overnight low or not, as long as we get a second decent leg down, if we bounce with no entry and rush back above the EMA, we could push into a smaller failed second entry in order to complete the second leg up here. So kind of thinking that, I'm kind of thinking something like a big picture failed second entry would be most ideal, but if we get a bounce, we could still get a smaller failed second entry to make that leg up. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. Kind of a short video. It's only 7 minutes, but anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.